The Savage Hawkman number 16, written by Frank Thierry, art by Joe Bennett and Jack Jadson. This is the final part of the that was Hawkman Wanted. So, last issue they got captured, and it turned out that Corsair, the Emperor guy, was still alive. The guy that he was literally charged for murder for. And this issue picks up with him being tortured in order to get all of the nth metal off of him. And Shire's like, hey, big bro, why didn't you tell me you were still alive? And Corsair's like, it's all part of the master plan. I had to do it. And she's like, okay, but like, you still lied to me. And he's like, shut up. Literally, I do not care about you at all. I want to get my nth metal back. And we see Carter lying on the ground with like nth metal dribbling out of him. And Carter's like, yeah, you ain't gonna get my nth metal, punk. And Corsair's like, oh yeah, let's try that. And he pulls out like a laser scepter and shoots it at Carter. And he's like, there, now you're dead. And now I can take your nth metal. But wouldn't you know it, the nth metal just came around him and made armor again. And Shire's like, okay, bro, maybe we should stop attacking him. Also, he didn't murder you, which is the only crime that he was accused of, so he should be released. And so Corsair grabs her by the throat and is like, hey, I'm the Emperor, I make the rules here. And then Carter grabs him by the throat and says, don't you put your hands on her. And then this big old, size of a mountain, four-armed dude shows up, grabs Carter by the throat and says, stop shouting, I'm napping. And it turns out this guy is Thraxus, one of the great old ones that Corsair's father turned away because he was too brutal. But he's still here and he's still alive. And he's like, all right, here's what we'll do. We'll just teleport the nth metal off of Carter and onto Corsair. And Shire's like, couple problems with that. One, that could kill both of them. And two, it would use up a lot of energy, which is kind of a big deal because we're currently orbiting around the sun. And Corsair's like, I'm sorry, did you just fucking talk to me? And she's like, no, sorry, old one, didn't mean to offend. She's like, no, you can't offend me. You're like a bug to me. Bugs can't affect people. So at that point, they set up the whole thing of the teleportation. And Corsair's like, but first, let me check on my status of my taking over of Earth. And turns out there are a whole bunch of different looking hawk people just buzzing around Earth's mountains, and they're setting up bases there, of course known as nests. And it's just like, good. Once you set up your nest on Earth, we will use it as our pivot point to take out the Zarnians and the Daemonites, because that was still our goal, if anybody remembers that. So Emma gets thrown into the same cell where Carter is, and Carter's like, hey, Emma, I don't think there's really any way out of this one. Sorry, I got us both killed. And Emma's like, don't worry about it. It's literally everything has always managed to work out. I have no reason to doubt it won't here. So teleportation thing's all set up. Corsair's hooked up to the machine, and Carter's brought in to be thrown in the other side. And Emma's forced to watch because, of course, he is. So they start doing the teleportation of the nth metal. And Emma's about to charge him, being like, no, stop it, you're killing him. But then Shire is like, hold on, just wait for it. And then all of a sudden, everything starts exploding, which I don't know why. It seems like Shire had her own men like booby trap it, but she's also blown back, so I don't know what's happening. Anyway, whole big fight breaks out. Shire's now on the side of Carter, hands him a gun so that he's able to escape. Mind you, he isn't currently wearing his hawk armor, so I don't know if he even still has it. But they make their way to the escape pods as this whole ship is being brought into the sun. And as they get there, Shire gets blasted by Corsair, and Corsair's like, now we will have our final battle. And Shire kisses Carter, says, I always loved you. I'm going to show you how much. And she pushes him into the escape pod and sends them on their way. And it's like, all right, brother, we will die here together. And Carter and Emma look out the window as the ship crashes into the sun, and Carter just goes, no. And that's it. That's Hawkman Wanted. Was it everything you dreamed it would be? Okay. I understand that sometimes you have an arc and you want to throw in a couple of extra issues in there because, hey, it's good universe building. It's good world building to have these characters cross over. But, like, the fact that this was pumped as a crossover of any meaningfulness at all, it's just disrespectful to the audience. Because I get that squaring Hawkman's origin between space bird and archaeologist is like the holy grail for Hawkman writers. Everyone wants to be able to be the one that explains, hey, here's how it actually works. But this is not the way to do it, where it's just, yeah, you forgot you were a space bird. Oh, silly me. I can't believe I forgot I was a space bird. And then after everything that happens, all the stakes that build up, what do we get out of it in the long term? It seems like it's just, there are like 6 more Hawk people who are building bases on Earth. Wow, that's going to be great for an arc. So, I don't know. It just let me down. I don't think I really went that much expecting anything, but it still found a way to let me down. So, I'm going to give this one... I got to give it like a 5. Not because I think it did anything particularly wrong, but it didn't do anything that felt worthwhile the entire time. It was just, yeah, may as well. So, 5 for that, and I think this book only has like 4 more issues, so we'll see where we get by the end of it. But, yeah, not looking forward to this last little bit.